Hi guys, I'm sure by now if you see my face, you already know that we're bringing you hot, steamy gist. The chatter crew is back again, or the banter team. I'm going to keep trying different nicknames until it sticks. But anyways, we're back again with another interesting conversation. I am the level-headed Blessings. Beside me is the dapper and ever defensive Emmanuel. And of course, there is the cool, calm, and couldn't care less Femi. And the spicy, feisty Chioma. Oh, I'm doing so good with these nicknames. How are you guys doing?
Well, great.
Great, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. You see, only her thought to ask me that.
Yeah.
That's gentlemanly of her.
Oh! Shade. That's shade.
All right.
How you ladies do it?
Nah, too late. Too late. It's not working. All right, guys. Today we are talking about something very, very important, and that is the hair. So today we'll be talking about weird hair practices, hair rituals, hair care practices, weird practices you've seen before, weird practices you've done before. We will be letting it all out today, okay? No secrets, including you guys. All right, so let's start off. Let me start by asking, what is the weirdest hair practice that you guys have seen?
Okay, do I start? So I literally work in hair care. So I'm a hair transplant surgeon with Vinci Hair Clinic, Africa. So the amount of things I've heard and seen people do in terms of what they attempt to, take care of their hair. So, off the top of my head, I remember someone that came in and said they had been washing their hair with detergent. Like Omo Ariel detergent.
So I won't lie, someone did ask me to do that because I went natural for some years. They told me to do it, and I'm like, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I know they said it makes the hair. What does it make it do now? I can't even remember. But then they said if I didn't want to do that, I could use bar soap, which I did.
Yeah, in my case, this person had a scalp infection, so they just believed they needed
Detergent.
Shampoos was not doing the trick, so they
Right.
wanted something stronger. So
Wow.
even Coke. I've seen people that use Coca-Cola to wash their hair. Yeah. I don't know exactly what that's meant to.
That's
But weird.
Okay, Femi, have you seen any?
Not really, but I think I can relate what they're saying. It's not different from people using salt to bathe during bolos.
You just had to go there.
Yeah.
What is that?
I think the one that was really popular that I've heard about was using rice water. Like
I did that too. Oh my God, I'm so ashamed of myself. Because I didn't know. I went natural, and unlike now that we have a lot of natural hair clinics that, we cater to your natural, I was in school. And then these people had amazing hair, right? So it felt like, okay, if you're doing it, I'll just swallow my shame and do it.
So what was the reason for using, for instance, the rice water thing?
Funny thing, I don't know. Because, they give you reasons like, it makes the hair strong, it makes it full and lush. And so my major concern was I wanted it to be soft enough so that the comb can go through it, So anything they gave me, I just tried it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but I know that I've seen some weird hair practices, and I've done a lot of weird hair things. I don't know if you guys would be willing to admit any, if you've ever done any. You don't look like you have anyway.
No, we're not, just because we know about the right way to take care of hair now, doesn't mean we're not susceptible at some point in the past to these practices. I think there was one I used to do when I was much younger. I think I was a huge Michael Jackson fan, so I wanted those Jerry curls in my hair. So I'd always relax my hair. So then I remember that anytime I put relaxer in my hair, I would wait till it stings. So basically, you're meant to put it in and wash it off after some time. But for me, the timer I used was when it starts to sting. So when it's burning my scalp.
So that it can fry well.
Entire side. So now I know that was so horrible for me to do, but then I thought it was the right way to do it. Just let the relaxer sit. When you start feeling some burns, and then you wash it off. So I used to do that one.
Anyone else wants to confess?
Femi, do you want to confess anything?
No, nothing to confess here.
I
know.
I actually don't think, like, apart from, just maybe cutting my hair at some point and doing a mohawk. I had a mohawk era actually, but I don't think I ever like put anything weird in my hair. My hair was always just fine to me. Like, I didn't want, like, when people were saying, "Oh, do this to make your hair grow longer." I felt like my hair was okay as long as I can weave it. It's fine. So I don't think I have really done anything weird to my hair.
Right.
There's this one I think I remember from secondary school, but I can't remember why it was done. I don't think it's because they wanted something out of the hair or maybe there was an issue. I've heard of someone put kerosene in their head and tied overnight.
Wow.
Stop.
No, man.
Do you know how dangerous that is?
Yes,
Because
I've heard of it.
it's very flammable and the
Yeah.
hair can catch like fire so quickly.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
That's
why?
crazy.
For what?
I can't remember why. But I know.
Femi, you might have heard of this one too. It was popular among boys. So when you're like preteen or you're just growing, rubbing methylated spirits.
Yeah, almost everybody did that.
I didn't do that though. I mean,
That means
did you do that? I think Femi did. So I mean,
But what was the reason?
especially beards. People believed,
they
make you
to
grow
make-
beards.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
for the
hair
beard.
Yes.
Did you do it?
So you still saying they thought?
They thought
now say the truth.
Did you do
No, I'm not a Bible writer. I'm not going to come and start telling you.
it?
I think Femi did it.
I think
But
so.
yeah,
We all
yeah.
think so.
It's trying to be cool.
So talking about weird hair practices, there are actually some hair practices that some people think are harmful, but are actually not. Or I think so. Like using raw eggs, for example. I've always thought it was harmful, but apparently it's not. Or is it?
Yeah, so from my perspective, I mean, Chioma, do you want to say anything about raw eggs? So I'd say from my own perspective, yeah, most of these things, it depends on how you use them. The rationale or the science behind using raw eggs is given. There's some credence to that because raw eggs contain a lot of protein. You know that the albumin in egg whites have a lot of proteins. It's also a good source of certain vitamins that you can add to. But I think it's about how you use it. How are you applying? So if you're using it like a mask and washing it off not long after, then you could be getting the right benefits. But attempting to mix raw egg with maybe toothpaste or some other things, and it just depends on how you use it. So yeah, that raw egg one, yeah, I think if you use it correctly, you could get some benefits.
Okay, so speaking of weird hair practices, I would like for us to see some videos and then react to it. I would want it to be a blind reaction, so I want to believe that most of us have not seen the videos, and then when we see each video, we're going to come back and react to it. So let's check out the first. Sorry.
What happened?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, so why is her face like that? I mean,
She's literally pulling out her hair.
yes, but like if you're in that much pain, why are you going on with what you're doing?
Is she the one doing it, or she went to a salon?
Okay, it seems
I think
like
she went
someone
to a
is
salon,
helping.
yeah, because she said
but that's
she
it.
should have known. And so I don't know, sometimes salonists will tell you that if they don't do it like that, your hair will tangle or something, and then they expect you to endure the pain so that you can get a flawless result.
But that's crazy. You can cut the hair into sections so that it's easier, and then use like maybe leave-in conditioner.
Yes.
So it's softer to comb.
But there are people who have naturally stubborn hair.
Yes,
Yes.
but even then, there are things that you can do to
Yeah,
make
to
it
soften.
more.
That's what I'm saying,
yeah,
like cutting
more
into
pliable.
sections, instead of trying to comb everything at once, because that's what makes it difficult. So if you cut it into sections and make sure that it's well moisturized,
Yeah.
then it's easier to comb.
Yeah.
And then it's like, why are you sitting down there and someone is literally pulling out? Like, why don't say something?
So that's it, because a lot of them believe that, they have to sit through that pain.
Yeah.
And these people,
Yeah.
fair enough, they'll think that if that is literally your job as a hair maker, then you probably know what you're doing. But in
Let
this
me-
case, you can see that.
Femi, if you saw your girlfriend in that much pain,
I think she's enjoying the pain. Personal opinion. I don't.
BDSM.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
she doesn't look
it
like
can-
she's in much pain. She looks like she's enjoying it.
No, her
It
face
could be
was-
therapeutic for some people.
She looked
Like,
like she was in a lot of pain. It just looked like she didn't understand, how much damage she was very doing to her hand.
Yeah.
right.
Next
So,
video.
so wait, sorry. What are the would I say detriments of that kind of? Is it just that you lose your hair, your front hair, or what? Besides the headache, of course.
Yes, I mean, if you're pulling your hair that hard, it could get detached right from the roots. This is the recipe for traction alopecia. When you have your hair being pulled out forcefully, most times it can get uprooted from the shaft. But repeated actions like that will now destroy the bulb where the hair grows from underneath. So it's definitely going to lead to long-term hair loss if you keep doing that.
Right. Okay. Let's see the next video.
So I bleached the hair yesterday and everything was fine. It went well. As you can see, it worked. And I'm combing it out so you guys can see. And the fallout on the comb was very little. And then the devil whispered to me that relax it. She shouldn't have done at least not a day after bleaching. I am probably going to regret this. But what is life without taking a risk? Ken, I'm not saying, why does it look as if my hair is not there again? Can I be like my hair come off? Hey, wait.
It was at this moment that he knew. He
So I don't know if I should laugh or I should cry.
It's like the hair is melting.
Lesson learned. I'm not supposed to relax my hair after bleaching. So apparently, breathe. But so guys, this is the epic feel. That's alright. And I hope I've not closed my my pores and my hair will grow back. I wanted to relax it because I wanted to do this, this finger curly thing. But I should have never have done that. See guys, just expect to see me on skin. Experience I will never want to experience again.
Filter.
With people daring things these days, like, okay, I understand, there was the era of the big chop, because I was also, I followed that bandwagon, just take scissors and cut the hair and then go to the salon and trim it off. That's still understandable, but people are daring things a lot, like dyeing your hair yourself without even knowing what the procedure, the proper professional procedure should be, and then you now go ahead and relax the hair.
I think she was just being silly. I mean, that's just the long and short. Because what was the point of even trying to relax the hair? It looked fine. I think she was just trying to be silly. Like,
Oh,
to
well,
see what
apparently she
could
wanted to get the curly style, like she said.
like she said.
So she wanted it
finger
to.
curls. I mean,
Oh,
yeah, it's a lack of knowledge of proper hair care.
no, but
practice.
like in the first place, before she started, she already said, oh, they said we should not relax our hair and something.
Yeah, there was something she
Oh,
said.
yeah, she
was
said
very
that,
telling,
yeah.
That was like,
she
like
said
you're aware.
she just bleached the hair today, and tomorrow she's relaxing the hair. So this is something, which is literally what she did.
So again, it's just like the way they say ladies should not relax their hair on the same day they're breeding, but some people still do it regardless. So I feel like that's what she was doing. Like, oh, they said we shouldn't do this,
I don't
but
advise people to relax their hair generally, as a rule.
why is that?
No, relaxers are not. I cannot advise anyone to use relaxers, texturizers. It's not part of my routine advice for hair care. If you've got like very difficult hair to comb, to deal with, then there are so many other ways that you can try to get it to work. So there are other products that you can use. You can condition your hair. There's lots of detangling conditioners that you can use, and but relaxing your hair, bleaching your hair, I mean, everyone is entitled to their fashion choices, but it's not something that I advise.
What are like the eventual dangers of it? Because the truth is, it's easier
We
said.
just watched.
Well, she lost her hair.
Yes, exactly. And the long-term effect of that is, you know, I've not followed up to know what the outcome was, but we're dealing with a potential chemical burn of her scalp. And that is, you know, just laying the foundation for scarring alopecia. Exactly. So those are the kind of people that will come back later with an area that's just not growing, you know, and the texture of the skin there has changed. It's tougher, you know, it's shiny. So these are the things that and then even relaxers have been identified as carcinogenic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
not only carcinogenics, they're also implicated
Leiomyomas,
in fibroids.
yes, uterine fibroids.
Yeah. So
Thank you very much for that question. Because I was going to say that, say it in layman terms.
Yes, like fibroids, uterine fibroids, and also some of the even dyes. Yeah, there's something called PPD. I don't know what the long term is, but you can check out. It's part of the ingredients for dyes. Also tar, which is literally the coal tar. Yes. So these products have long-term oncogenic effects, meaning they can cause certain kinds of cancers. So we have to be very careful what we use.
Wow. Femi, have anything to say?
No, I mean, I think I can relate because when I was much younger in secondary school, I tried to relax my hair. Not tried, I did relax my hair. I probably use an activator. The activator they call it, or this jelly coil thing. After, but like I burnt the hair. So I could feel it in the scalp. And I'm sure that's why her barber was using scissors. Because if you try to put the clipper on it, she would feel pain.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what she must have been going through. And that's crazy. I wouldn't advise anyone to try that.
Yeah. So generally, because of how tough to manage our hair as black women can be, I know that it's not realistic to say don't relax your hair. So what I try to advise people is, because it's very common in salons that your relaxer is not washed off until you're saying it's painful, like you're in pain, which is not the sign that your hair is relaxed. You don't need it to be sleeping. You just need to be soft enough. So when you apply relaxers, all you need is 10 minutes. You don't need to be there when it's now stinging, your hair is on fire, because that hurts, and it can get to a point where you get burned to the extent where the follicles there are literally burned off. So yeah, I cannot say realistically never relax your hair, blah blah blah, but like when you do relax your hair, try to make it like until it's absolutely necessary, where it's like your hair can't maybe take a comb anymore. And when you do it, you don't need to sit down for 30 minutes when your hair is literally on fire, your scalp is on fire. So yeah, so these are some of the things. And then obviously I don't think it needs to be said that you don't dye your hair and go and relax it the next day. Doesn't make
Why are you
sense.
even doing it by yourself?
Yeah, you should let your hair breathe, you know.
Let's agree.
Okay, let's take a look at
Other babies crying during 1-year frontal installation. Yes, my baby's sitting pretty, like a big lady.
We have seen, babies with thread, this Kiko thing. We've seen with braids, we've seen with bonds. But now there's a trend, apparently. Mothers using frontal installation on their babies. We've talked extensively about the dangers, even for adult women. Talk less of babies. What do you guys think?
I think it's bonkers. Like, why does a child need a wig? Not to talk of frontal
And
wigs
install.
that you have to glue down. Doesn't make any sense to me. It's crazy. That's just what it is. Crazy.
I think that person should be arrested.
True.
I was going to
True.
say this is, I think, I don't know. Let's just, whenever you're doing stuff for your kids, I think we should stop trying to live vicariously through our kids. Or
Like things you
know,
couldn't
yes,
do,
we're
yeah.
just doing maybe what you think would be nice on your adult hair, on your baby. No, it doesn't work. This is very close to being abused. Yeah, I think the less said about that video, the better.
And I think that aside this frontal installation, there are a lot of things that parents and guardians, uncles, aunties do for little children that can't make decisions on their own, especially when it comes to things that relate to the hair. You see in some, and I think this is more prominent in northern areas, where they use a blade to scrape off the hair, and you start seeing blood like on children. And then so what are the effects when these children grow? Like, this baby probably would lose some, if this continues, she'd probably lose some hair in front. What are some of the effects?
I mean, we're looking at such a video, and what I'm just thinking is how small the head of that baby is, and all that drama you're doing on the hair. If you were to have a situation where you damage any of those follicles, long term, when they become adults and they've grown up and the surface area of their head is much larger, it will translate to a very big portion of their hair being lost. So I mean, let's allow babies be babies. Let's let kids be kids, and just
I want to say that again for the people at the back. Anyways, okay, so let's take a look at the next video then.
Bro, wearing a cap all the time causes hair loss. I want to address this comment. Does a hat really cause that much damage to your hair where you should just stop wearing them completely? When looking up, do hats contribute to hair loss? Hats do not necessarily contribute to baldness, but you might notice early signs of baldness if your hat causes tension on your head or scalp, and you might experience early signs of balding. There's studies that show cutting off circulation to your head can cause hair to fall out. There's also studies that the material inside your hat can also cause hair to fall out or get damaged. Now, of all things considered, hypothetically, what if you went and wore a hat for like 2 to 3 hours a day? Maybe to go work out, maybe to go grocery shopping, and you kind of just loosely put it on your head? What if the material inside your hat wasn't damaging the hair? Yeah, I know it's good, hairline warning. We got the silk line hats, we got the silk line beanies, that way the material isn't damaging the hair. Also, when I wear it, I don't wear it too tight, and beanies aren't really that snug on me, and I have not experienced any hair loss. Through the 2 months, I've been regrowing the hair, so if you're gonna want to hide the hair, wear a hat, it's not the end of the world.
Okay, so I'll start by asking Femi, how often do you wear a hat?
I don't wear hats.
Is it a personal choice, or because you know some of these things already?
Because I'm just broke. No money.
Maybe that's not true.
His Femi's not challenged for me, like he's just so indifferent.
Well, I mean, I think it's just, I've not just gotten that.
It's not your style.
It's not my style.
It's not part of yours.
It's not, but I think what I could take from that video in relation to the one before is the fact that from his research, having tight stuff on your hair could lead to hair loss. And so for women who are like gluing hair to their hair, like that's something you want to think about.
Right. Do you guys want to?
Chip in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like he said, I think it's important to reiterate that wearing caps or hats are not contraindicated generally.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with wearing a cap or a hat, you know. For some, it's part of their religious attire. For some, it's part of their traditional attires. So what is important is that you don't wear anything that is too tight, that's cutting off circulation to your scalp, you know. So, I mean, once you wear something that's pretty loose and you're not wearing it all the time and the material is fine, you know, and yeah. Silk is great for hair, really. It doesn't have that, doesn't pull on your hair strands when you try to take it off. So, yeah, so that's fine.
Okay, Chioma, anything?
Not really. I think you said it all.
Okay, so speaking of tight and blood circulation, you might want to see this last video. So let's take a look. So I'm not gonna lie, I see people even till now with this kind of hairstyles. Like, one of my colleagues still had this on about 2 weeks ago, and I'm wondering, and when I ask, the first thing they say is, oh no, it's just the first few days. Eventually, when you use hot water to press it down, it goes. And I'm wondering, what's the use of such hair. So some people actually do it because they think it's going to make their hair grow longer, or just the style, or some even think it's a hair maintenance style. I don't know how to put it. What do you guys think?
First of all, like, there's no way hairstyles that are that tight is any good for your hair. There's just no way. You're literally, like, she can't even move her neck. She's just there. Like, it's literally just cutting out the blood supply there. I can't even imagine the pain that she's in. That's a no-no, to be honest. Tight, very, very tight hairstyles are just a recipe for disaster. So instead of being a protective hairstyle, you're really just damaging your hair, and that's like straight up traction alopecia on the way.
I mean, this is very I don't know the word to use, but if one day I owned like a company and had like staff, I think there might be certain like guidelines around like women like fixing like tight braids, because I feel like
They're gonna come for you.
sometimes you might get like workplace tension between co-workers, and it might not be unconnected to tight braids. because
I don't know the science behind.
Because I mean, Chioma said like she doesn't know how there's circulation to the head.
So they're not thinking.
And she's like nagging because like she's having headache. So if you just come at her with any unnecessary request, she will just snap at you. This is your hand, you know where
Oh my
It's an
goodness.
interesting angle.
Yeah.
Anyway, like this video, I mean, you can already see she has a receding hairline. It's either a receding hairline or a prominent forehead. I would have to see what her hair was like before to make that judgment. But I mean, another thing, apart from how tight it is, another thing I noticed was what women would typically say, these are my edges, all the baby hair. It seems she included everything in that hairstyle.
Yeah.
Because every single strand of hair was tied up and held hostage. And I mean, you can't be in that much pain and expect the outcome to be. I guarantee that when she takes off that hairstyle, you know, there'll be a lot of tears, because all the hair in front will probably go with, you know, her loosening the hair. So I do not recommend,
So talking about these different hairstyles, right? We know that sometimes there are conversations around guys, for example, blaming their barbers for receding hairline and things like that. But there's also the angle that these hairstylists are not entirely innocent when it comes to things like this type braids. Some of them would even be the ones who suggest it for you and then tell you, no, nothing will happen. In fact, it will help you keep your hair intact, to help your hair grow. So what role do you think that hairstylists play in, or should play in, things like this?
I think that's why I like talking about stuff like this is important. Like many of these hairstylists don't know that what they are doing is bad. There's probably like what I call it, like folklore, like myths saying that, oh, if you tighten the hair, it's probably enhance hair growth, but it's a lie. So like these things need to be debunked. Like they need to know. Like someone needs to teach them, and like platforms like this are forums for us to like make these guys know that you shouldn't do that to people's hair. People should know to tell them to stop.
Exactly.
Like you should know to, if you're feeling them like your hair tight in the salon, you should know to stop.
Yeah, and I just want to chip in that this is why, you know, Vinci Hair Clinic, for instance, we try to have this partnership with people that take care of hair, whether you're a hairstylist, a natural hair, even locticians and the likes, so that we get them and give them the right information on how to take care of hair, and also to get them to refer to us cases where you might need some specialist care to restore the hair. But basically, you know, there's that whole program where you can talk to these guys and get them to have the best hair care practices, because like you said, yeah, your hairstylist has a huge role to play. Shaving your hair as a guy, carving your hair, maybe not too much.
Yeah.
But something like all the videos we just watched here, you have no business as a hairstylist making hair that tight. You
Yeah.
have no business. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. I think this is a good place to draw the curtain, and I'm just going to quickly say that you should be careful what you do with your hair. Your hair is your crown, especially as Africans, and as much as there are professionals who are willing to help restore your hair, like Vinci Hair Clinic, you can just avoid wanting hair restoration all the same. Like, just make sure that you're taking care of your hair. You don't need tight braids, especially the children that can't make decisions for themselves. I think that it should be criminalized, those actions that they take. But anyways, thank you so much for joining us on this episode, and I hope that amidst the banter, the laugh, the fun, you have learned a thing or two. Right, so do well to join us on our next episode. From myself and my, what did I call you again, chatter? I'm going to work on it, but my gist partners. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, please.
Bye.